Welcome. Today we're going to discuss about few concepts of motion in one dimension in the unit number 2 kinematics. In the previous video we have already discussed about distance and displacement, speed and velocity. Again we are going to start up this topic with the velocity. So what is velocity? It is displacement by time. That is how much time, how much displacement the object has made for a particular period of time. It is actually something related to speed. So speed is a scalar quantity whereas velocity is a vector quantity. So how much fast the object moves and how much time it takes. This is what is velocity here. It is a vector quantity and this can also be given as the rate of change of position with respect to time, as displacement is the rate in change of position. So if a person is standing here, he is moving from this point and to this point. This is the displacement made by this person in one particular direction, from right to left, right? So this is the displacement made by this person, but with respect to time, so change in the displacement, it is change in position. Always the position vector is r vector, so change in position is del r. So change in position with respect to change in time. For 1 second he is here, for the next second he is here, for the next minute he is here. If it goes on like this, it is called the displacement with respect to time. That is my velocity. So velocity can be given by, by the definition. The same definition I am writing it in the equation format here. So velocity is equal to rate of change of position. So it is change of position divided by change of time. If you have the term called rate, it is divided by with respect to time. So it is change of position by change of time. That is del r by del t in representation. So V is equal to del r by del t. This is your velocity. As we know, speed and velocity are one and the same. Speed is just the scalar quantity and velocity is a vector quantity, where velocity will have the direction also. So what is velocity? Velocity is that has magnitude and direction. If you say along with direction, it is called velocity. If you say only the magnitude, it is called speed. Yes. So from the velocity itself, in velocity you have both magnitude and direction. So from the velocity itself, when you take only the magnitude, it is called speed, isn't it? So velocity vector, V vector, its component representation, you know that it is component, you have to go for x I cap plus Vy j cap plus Vz k cap. So it is the vector component notation for the velocity V. And from this vector part, you are going to take only the magnitude. From vector to find the magnitude, it is V is equal to root of the x square value plus y square value plus z square value. So it is V is equal to root of Vx square plus Vy square plus Vz square. So this is what, nothing but your magnitude from the velocity, that is simply the speed. So we know that speed is always a positive scalar, and unit of speed as well as velocity is meter per second, as it is displacement or distance by time. The velocity or speed is nothing but displacement or distance by time. So unit of distance is meter and unit of time is second. So they say unit of your speed or velocity, whatever it is meter per second. Next is your average velocity or velocity. So average velocity is nothing but, velocity is change in displacement with time. So a person is moving from this point to this point for one period of time. Then after some time he is again moving from this point to this point. it is second part of motion. So this one takes some displacement with respect to time, which is velocity 1, and this part takes second change in position with respect to second part of change in time, which is velocity again. So what is the average velocity for this person on whole change in position or whole term of motion? It is add up all the velocity with respect to the whole time, right? So it is again velocity displacement by time, but it is total displacement by total time. It is the average value. So average velocity is nothing but ratio of the total displacement vector with respect to total time interval. So average velocity and velocity are one and the same. Velocity is for one part alone, for this part alone. Average is if you have more than one repetition of values and go for the average thing, it is called average velocity. So average velocity is equal to again displacement by time, that is V average is equal to del R by del T again. Here del R and del T are whole change in position and whole change in time. So it is also again a vector quantity, and the direction of the velocity depends upon the direction of the displacement. Next is your instantaneous velocity. As the term goes, it is instant. Instant is for a particular fraction of time you are going to calculate the velocity. So see, if you have the velocity, an object is moving from this part to this part. So it is called, velocity is to find the speed for the whole term of motion for the whole time. If I want to find the velocity at one particular instant of time for this point alone, because velocity is nothing but, for your understanding, I'm saying it as speed. So it is speed. If the speed of the object is like this, it moves with one speed here, and this may get reduced at this point, again it may get increased at some other point. So the velocity is that keeps on changing. So what is the velocity, what is the displacement and time interval ratio at this one particular point of time? If you find, it is called as the instantaneous velocity. So it is for one particular instant of time t. Again same, the velocity is nothing but displacement with the time, but one particular time interval, which means change in time is tends to 0. This thing is called as change in time tends to 0. That is, at this particular time I'm going to take only one particular time, and the change in time value is almost equal to 0. So it is change in time tends to 0. When you have the term called change in time tends to 0, limit del t tends to 0, then that is called the instantaneous value for any term it is. So again we have given here the vector representation of your velocity. So velocity is equal to displacement or change in position by change in time. Change in position, as I said, it is position is r vector, and position can be represented in your coordinates as x, y and j. So xi cap plus yj cap plus zj cap. So change in the position, so it is d by dt of xi plus yj plus zk. So you can write this separate as separate terms of differentiation. It is dx by dt of I cap plus dy dt of j cap plus dz by dt of k cap, which is your velocity. That is, to find the velocity, whatever the vector you have, if you differentiate that particular value once with respect to your time, we will be getting the velocity value. I hope you're clear with this now. Let us move on with the next important concept, which is your relative velocity. Relative is that comparing two things, two or more things. I am going to find what is the velocity of one object in compared to the other object. Then it is called as relative velocity. So when two objects A and B are moving with different velocities, when A and B are moving all together, then I am going to find the velocity of one object with respect to the another object. It is called the relative velocity. So you can depict this in the picture here. You can see that one of the plane is moving faster when compared to the other. So how I define the velocity of one plane, it is with respect to the other. I'm comparing it with the other thing, it is called as the relative velocity. So here see, how will I find the velocity of this particular aeroplane is that this aeroplane has moved this much far distance, while the other second plane has moved only this much distance. So the difference between this makes the definition for the velocity of these two objects, because this particular second object has to cover up still this much distance to match the velocity with this. So likewise, I am relating two objects and defining a velocity is called as relative velocity. So in that case of relative velocity, you have four different cases. So first case is that I'm going to relate two objects, right? And you can have four different cases of how these two objects can be. The first case is that both the objects are moving in the same direction and with the uniform velocity. That is, the velocity in the total period of motion will not change. It is same. Velocity is speed, as you know, it is similar to speed. So an object will move in the same speed for all particular period of time. For 5 minutes it will be on same speed. After 5 minutes it will be on the same speed itself. After 10 minutes also it will be on the same speed itself. The speed value, the range it covers will not change for any time. This is called uniform velocity. So if you have two moving objects like this, I am going to relate this velocities now. So as it is moving in the same direction and with the same velocity, the magnitude of the velocity will be simply the difference in their magnitude. How this is happening is, you can understand this from the picture here. You can see one car is moving at this velocity here and the other car is moving with the same direction, and it has moved only till this point. So how much this particular car has to make till still is this much distance. So this particular car has traveled, say for example 10 meters, and this car has made only 8 meters now. How much it has to still cover to match this? It has to cover still 2 more meters to match this car, which is, how did you find this? Just the difference of this two. This is called the relative velocity. How much this one car has to match with the other car is called as the relative velocity. So which is nothing but the difference in the velocities. So first velocity of object A is VA, and the second velocity of the second object B, VB. Then what is the relative velocity between these two objects? It is VA minus VB, if both the things are in the same direction. So in this case, you can say in terms of A with respect to B, or else B with respect to A, right? So if it is A with respect to B, you have to write it as VAB. If it is B with respect to A, we have to write it as VBA. So whatever the term first you take, that should be written first. So if it is VAB, it is VA minus VB. If it is VBA, it is VB minus VA. So this is for the first case where both the cars are moving in the same direction and with same uniform velocity. Second case is that again uniform velocity, but it is in the opposite direction. So as I said already, that is, if the direction changes, you have to go for just the indication is by sign, putting a minus sign for the case which is in the opposite direction, right? So if it is VAB, the relative velocity formula is for VAB relating A with respect to B. The formula is nothing but VA minus VB, isn't it? So this first object, it is VA, and for second object it is VB. you can see that both are in the opposite direction. So for one it is positive, then for the other it is negative, right? So VA is positive and this minus as such, and for VB it is in the opposite direction, so it is minus VB. So when you have minus into minus, it becomes plus. So the relative velocity value for the two objects in opposite direction becomes VA plus VB, which is nothing but sum of the velocities. So what they have given is magnitude of the relative velocity of one object with respect to the other object for this case will be equal to sum of the magnitude of their velocities. If it is opposite direction, it is summation. If it is same direction, it is difference. So for the other case also, see that, so in this case I have taken the VB direction is different, so it is for VB alone minus. So if you write it in the case of VBA, you know that first we have to write the B value, then you have to go for minus VA, right? This is the formula. So instead of VB, what you have to go? It is the opposite direction. So it is minus VB minus VA as such. Here I have taken the minus as common outside and given as VA plus VB. Okay. As you are relating with the B, it is in the opposite direction, no? So the total value also will be in the opposite direction, which is indicated by the minus sign here. This is your second case. So third case is that when two objects are moving with some particular angle theta between them. So then the velocity will be, again, if it is having some angle itself, you have to go for the angle value and the vectors in some angle, no? So vectors in some angle, which we have read in your cross product formula. If it is two vectors, then it is making some angle. What you have to go for magnitude, it is root of a square plus b square minus 2ab cos theta, right? So here it is velocity, so it is root of velocity of ba square plus bb square minus 2va vb into cos theta, and the angle is given by tan theta, which is here the theta is taken as beta here. So they have given, see, beta is the angle between the object A and B. So it is tan beta is equal to VB sin theta by VA minus VB cos theta. This is the same thing what we have discussed in our cross product formula to find the magnitude and the angle when you have the two vectors in some angle. So this is all about the three different cases of your relative velocities. Here again you have to go for three different values, as you have theta. Theta is equal to 90, theta is equal to 180 and theta is equal to 0. So when you substitute here, again cos theta value, theta, you have to go for that and write the three values of the angle, possibility of angles here. Then the next concept is that acceleration. So acceleration is nothing but velocity with respect to time. Change in velocity with respect to time is called the acceleration. As I said, when an object moves in a moves or rotates something with some speed, the speed can never be same for all point of time. It can be very faster at this point, it can become slower at this point, it can be still more faster at this point. So the speed changes with respect to time. For any time interval, the speed value, fastness of the object of the motion becomes getting changed, which is called as acceleration here. So again it is velocity, it is not, I just said for your understanding as speed, it is velocity. So the velocity gets changed at each particular time. It is called acceleration. So acceleration is represented by A, and it is change in velocity by change in time. So again, as velocity is vector quantity, obviously the acceleration value is also vector quantity. So what is its unit? We know that C, acceleration is equal to velocity by time, right? And what is velocity? It is displacement by time, by one more time here. So you have acceleration as displacement by time square. When you bring this t to the denominator, it is displacement by time square. So what is the unit of displacement? It is meter. And what is the unit of time? It is second. So you have square here. So meter per second square is the unit of, SI unit of acceleration. So meter per second square. And the dimensional formula is m power 0, L power 1, T power minus 2. This will you'll be understanding with the dimensional formula of your first unit. So when you go for the vector representation, for velocity, vector representation is Vx I cap, Vy j cap, Vz k cap. So it is dVx by dt into I cap plus dVy by dt into j cap plus dVz by dt into k cap. As I said, velocity, in place of velocity you can write it as x by t. Okay, it is dx by dt with respect to change, no? So it is d by dt already you have. For acceleration A, it is dv by dt, right? So it is dv by dt. Instead of this v, I am going to write it as change in displacement by change in time. So what you have? It is d by dt of dx by dt. So multiply this inside, you will get d square x by dt square, which means if you have the displacement x value, if you have the position value, you differentiate that for one time, you get velocity. The same position, if you were differentiate for 2 times with respect to time, it becomes acceleration. So in acceleration, again you have 2 different types of acceleration. One is uniform acceleration, the other one is non-uniform acceleration. So uniform, you know, it is the same value. So the velocity changes with respect to time, isn't it? This change in velocity is same for the whole period. That is, the velocity value is same for the whole period of time. It is called uniform acceleration. If this change in velocity with respect to time is not same for all the particular period of time, it is called as non-uniform acceleration. So next thing is retardation. As I said, what is acceleration? The speed or the velocity gets changed as the time goes, right? If this change can be increasing or decreasing, that is, if the speed or velocity of the object goes on increasing as it moves, as the time goes, no? For first time it will have lesser speed. As it moves on, its speed getting increased for each and every time, then it is called as acceleration. If the speed, instead of getting increased, if it gets decreased, that is, initially the object will be moving very fast. When time goes, this speed getting reduced, and at one particular point the speed will be 0 and it will stop. Such kind of thing happens is that the acceleration is getting decreased with respect to time, then that is called as retardation. Such kind of acceleration which is getting decreased, is called as the retardation, that is negative acceleration. That is, the value is getting, velocity is getting decreased. The acceleration is getting decreased. Change in velocity is getting decreased, which is called retardation. So as it is, the next is average acceleration. So as we saw in the case of average velocity, what is average velocity? You have n number of change in velocity value, add up, take the average. Similarly, if you have different accelerations, the acceleration of object for one first case, and again from here the object is accelerating to one more position, here it is second case, and if you add up all the things and take the average value, it is called average acceleration, which is similar to normal acceleration. Instead of adding up separately and going for average, if you go for the acceleration value for whole time period also, it is same. So this is average on the whole. This will not, average acceleration will not give the value for one particular time. What will be the, see for example, the acceleration for the whole time period is 10 minutes. I cannot find the value of the acceleration at the second minute or first minute, like that. It is called average acceleration. If you go for one particular instant of time, then it is called as instantaneous acceleration. As I've already told you in the velocity case, if the term instantaneous comes, you have to go for del t approaches to 0 or tends to 0. You have to go for del t tends to 0. So acceleration is velocity by time. You have to go for the del t value tends to 0, which is my instantaneous acceleration. That is acceleration at a particular time t. And one more thing we can do with this is, you know that acceleration A is equal to dv by dt. So this can be rewritten as, bring this dt to the other side. It becomes, have this dv alone as such. So dv will be here. When you bring this, it is dv is equal to a into dt. So you have dv here, dt here, right? Both the sides you have differentiation. So to remove this, integrate on both sides. You will be getting integral dv is equal to integral a into dt. The change thing is time, right? So it is from initial time t1 to final time t2. It is the limits. So integration of dx is, we have discussed in the formulas, it is integration of dx is x. So instead of dx, they have given us dv. So integral dv is nothing but v. So the velocity v is equal to integral change time lower limits and upper limits t1 to t2 a into dt. So if you have acceleration, you can find the velocity by doing the integration of the acceleration like this. So the final basic thing that you have to understand with the motion is that momentum. So momentum is indicated by the symbol, denoted by the symbol P. It is nothing but mv. Momentum is nothing but, understand it like movement. So it is motion. So motion is that I am going to move this object from this point to this point. So you have to know how much velocity, how much speed it takes to move, and what is the mass of the object. If you have the object's mass to be larger, you have to apply more force. If you apply more force also, this will move for some distance only with some velocity. But if it is lighter object, when you apply the same force, the object will move for a larger distance and the velocity, the speed will also be larger, right? So this relation with the mass and the velocity is called as momentum. That is simply P is equal to m into v. P is equal to m into v. So what is this P? It is nothing but momentum. It is called, if the momentum, if this change in position, if the object moves with some velocity in the straight line, it is called the linear momentum. So it is the definition what you have given here, P is for linear momentum. What is the definition? So it is P is equal to m into v. So when you write it in words, it is m is mass and v is velocity. So momentum P is equal to mass into velocity. The linear momentum is defined as, it is m into v, right? M into v is nothing but multiplication. So it is, instead of multiplication, you can give it as product of what? Mass and velocity. So the linear momentum is nothing but, is defined as the product of mass with velocity, and it is denoted by the symbol P. So the formula is P is equal to m into v. As we know, velocity is the vector quantity, so obviously the P value, momentum, should also be vector quantity. And in which direction it will move? Here only velocity is vector. Based upon that only we have related the momentum also as vector. So in what is the direction of the momentum will be? It is in the, depends upon the velocity. So it is in the direction of velocity. I hope you have understood. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel.